We are back here with some more NBA content as we have 4 days left in the regular season and the Western Conference playoff and play-in races are in full go here. As all teams have 2 or 3 games remaining, we are going to go through some of the scenarios here and what I will be predicting will happen in these last few days of the regular season. So as we look at the standings here, we have the first 4 seeds. They are not all fully set yet, but it will be very difficult for any team to change their seed in the top 4. So they're all essentially clinched. Then at the 5 seed, we've got the LA Clippers who got a massive victory at home against the LA Lakers, propelling them to the 5th spot right now at 42-38. Then you've got the Warriors as well at 42-38. Now, something interesting is that with all of these teams from the 5 through the 9, the Warriors will not have the tiebreaker. So if things do not go their way, it could get bad for them there. Then you've got the Lakers at 41-39, had a 4-game winning streak going, but then that was broken last night against the Clippers in that one. Then you've got the Pelicans who are 8-2 in their last 10. One of the hottest teams in basketball. Will they get Zion back for the final 2 games of the regular season or for the play-in? We will stay tuned for that, but they've gotten themselves to the 8 seed there. Then you've got the Minnesota Timberwolves at 40-40, and they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. And keep in mind that they will play the Pelicans on the last day of the regular season. That game might be for a 7th or potential 8th seed, which is massive because you go from having to win 1 out of 2 games to make the playoffs to having to win both. Then at the 10 line, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder barely holding on at 38-42 there. They have the tiebreaker against the Dallas Mavericks, who are at number 11, but have Luka and Kyrie. So if they do make the 10 seed in the play-in, they will definitely be no easy out. And then the final team here is we get to the Utah Jazz, who have 3 games left, and they need just a Hail Mary prayer here to make the playoffs. They need a bunch of things to go their way, and they have a really tough schedule. So we will see. They are still in it, but they have not been performing well as of late, so really don't expect them to do much here in the final stages of the regular season. So we start out with the Thursday and Friday games. And first here we got the Thunder and the Jazz, and this is essentially an elimination game for the Jazz. They are at home here, but have a couple players injured. In this one, I'm going to take the Thunder to win. They are 5.5 or 6-point favorites, depending where you're looking. The Thunder have been stumbling late as well, but they need this victory to stay at the 10 line, and I think they get it there. Then we've got the Knicks going to New Orleans to face the Pelicans. This is a great spot for the Pelicans because they're facing a Knicks team who are on a back-to-back, and the Knicks are clinched into that 5 seed, can't switch at all. So I find that they will lack motivation in this game, and the Pelicans have everything to play for, so I think New Orleans gets it done at home there. Then you've got the Mavericks against the Bulls. This is a must-win game for Dallas at home, and I think they win this one pretty easily there. If they can play a lick of defense, Kyrie and Luka will carry them there over Chicago. Then we have a very intriguing matchup. We've got the Warriors and the Kings, and if the playoffs started today, this would be the 6-3 matchup, and many are predicting that the Warriors want to face Sacramento in the first round and that they would win that series. Well, this is a good barometer for that because the Warriors have not been good on the road all season. They do lead the season series so far 2-1 this year, but the one they lost was in Sacramento. But it is still hard to think of that as a road game because of the Warriors' great fan base and the fact that it's only a short 2-hour bus ride to the arena. With all that being said, I'm taking the Warriors to win this one. We know that Wiggins isn't going to be back, and Klay did miss that Tuesday game, but I just think that down the stretch of this game, the Warriors will play the better defense, and I think they know how much this means late in the season. They want to avoid the play-in at all costs, and I think they will do that here with a big win against the Sacramento Kings there. Then we get to another very intriguing matchup, the Phoenix Suns heading to LA. Now, this is the second leg of a back-to-back. They play the Nuggets on Thursday before this, so we'll see how that game goes and if they load manage at some point. I've got the Suns winning this game. Now, if they decide to rest their starters, I don't think that this will be much of a possibility. But I think that they want to win this game against this Lakers team. They want to show that they can compete at the highest level with KD in the lineup. Sure, they are 6-0 when he's starting, but they have not faced good teams, and I think this will be a good test for them, and I think they win that there. Even though the Lakers greatly need this game, I still have Phoenix taking it there. Then we get to some of the weekend games, and I'm going to go over the Saturday ones here. So first we got Minnesota hosting the Spurs. I think the Timberwolves take this one easily over a Spurs team that are tanking there, even though the T-Wolves have had some head-scratching losses as of late. And then I'm taking the Clippers to beat a tanking Blazers team as well on Saturday afternoon. So with all that being said, I've gotten through the Saturday action. So this is the standings entering Sunday with all of my predictions in place. So you've got the Clippers still holding up the 5 seed, 43 and 38. You've got the Warriors, they won against the Kings, so they're at the 6, 43 and 38. Got the Pelicans at 42 and 39. They jump up to the 7 seed. The T-Wolves jump up to the 8 seed at 41 and 40 because they have the tiebreaker over the Lakers this year via the season series. Then you've got the Lakers being pushed all the way down to the 9 seed at 41 and 40. That just shows how big that Suns game is on Friday night. Then at the 10 line, you've got the Thunder holding on at 39 and 42, and the Mavericks at 39 and 42 as well, just out of the play-in at this point. And obviously the Jazz have already been eliminated. So now we get into the Sunday games, and we started out here with a great contest, the T-Wolves and the Pelicans, and this one is essentially for a top 8 spot. Great deal of importance. With that being said, this one is in Minnesota. So I am taking the more talented Timberwolves at home to win that one. It will be very entertaining and a great game, but I just have to favor the experience of this Minnesota Timberwolves squad to get it done there. Then we go to the Spurs and the Mavericks, and at this point, the Mavs will need a win and a Thunder loss to get into the playoffs, so I think they mop up the floor with the Spurs team pretty easily there and then hope that the Grizzlies can take down the Thunder. Then we get to that Grizzlies-Thunder game, and no doubt the Grizzlies are the better team, but this one being in Oklahoma City, the Grizzlies will already probably have the 2 seed locked up. They're not going to be playing for much. I suspect they might rest their starters in this one or just not try as hard as this Oklahoma City team, who are a young bunch. They're gunning to make the play-in. All that they've done all year will be vindicated if they can get in that 10 seed and potentially get into the playoffs. So I think that this Thunder team gets a little bit of an upset potentially there and wins that one at home, which knocks the Mavericks out. Then we've got the Lakers at home against the Jazz. I'm taking them to win it there. The Jazz will already have been eliminated there. Perhaps they want to improve their draft stock, so I've got the Lakers winning this one. Keep in mind that they've already lost to the Suns at this point, so they really want to lock in a top 8 seed, which they will do if they win this game. Then we get to the Warriors at the Blazers. This one should just be a gimme for the Warriors at this point. Now, there are a few possibilities in play in which the Warriors might actually benefit from losing this game. That is, if they want the 6 seed over the 5 seed, so they'd rather face the Kings than the Suns. But that's a weird niche scenario, and I think they're just better off winning this game because it would be pretty embarrassing losing to Portland in the final game of the season. So I think they'll just win this game in Portland there and have good vibes heading into the playoffs. And then you've got a very important game and a potential first-round preview, the Clippers at the Suns. And in this one, I have the Phoenix Suns taking down the other LA team at home here. I just think that they want to showcase how good they are to the rest of the league. So I think the Phoenix Suns are the better team, especially with Paul George out in this one. So give me Phoenix there to win that. So now we get into my final standings, and here we have the Warriors jumping up to the 5 seed at 44 and 38. Keep in mind they won at Sacramento and in Portland there. Relatively easy schedule. Then you have the Clippers at 43 and 39. They won against the Blazers, lost against the Suns. Those games are back-to-back, so we'll see if Kawhi and everyone plays in that second leg. Then at the 7 line, we've got the Minnesota Timberwolves jumping all the way up. They are currently the 9 seed as I'm recording this video, but I've got them hopping up to the 7 seed with their big wins against the Spurs and the Pelicans there, as we have a 3-way tie at 42 and 40. Second in that tie, and at the 8 seed, we've got the Lakers at 42 and 40. Keep in mind they lost to the Suns and beat the Jazz. And then falling to the 9 seed are the New Orleans Pelicans at 42 and 40. This just shows the importance of that Sunday game in Minnesota. So if they can wrap that one up, they have a strong chance at the 7 and maybe even a 6 seed berth there. So that will be crucial for them. Then at the 10 line, I've got the Thunder holding on, winning their final 2 games and going to 40 and 42, although those are 2 tough games. They're going to Utah and hosting the Grizzlies. Could definitely see the Mavericks making it because the Mavs have a pretty easy schedule going down the stretch, but I have them narrowly missing the playoffs there. So with all that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Western Conference play-in and playoff race. Let me know any predictions you have for the actual playoffs themselves. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one.